Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and here with the terrible twins again. Hello Miss Letty, how is it going?
It's going fine. It's quite humid and it's trying to rain. We haven't had rain for more than 6 months, so let's hope we get some.
Yes, and here also we have got we started the dry season. Anyway, today I have very common question which is like easy peasy lemon squeezy to you. Like walking in the
Let's.
park. Yeah. Well, people in the world learning English must be some of them they would like to visit the UK or maybe for some reason for study or for work issue maybe I don't know. So what is the do's and the don'ts when come to visit the UK? But also maybe you can add about the rule of thumb, if possible.
Well, this question is very big for me
Oh,
because
really?
I haven't lived in the UK for more than 35 years.
Oh.
So I have to think about the things in the past. Now I'm not sure, things could have changed, but let's think. I used to take students to the UK in the summer. So one of the first things I used to have to teach them was to say please and thank you.
Fish and cute.
Because, yes, because I know it sounds silly, but here in Spain, we don't keep saying thank you for everything. We say thank you now and again and please now and again because it has more value. But in English, everything is please, thank you. Also, when you are listening to somebody and you can't hear them correctly, in Spanish, we say, what? And in English, we say, oh, excuse me, could you repeat that again? Or something like that. Because my students keep going, what? And it sounds very rude or very strong, no? So they are silly things, maybe, but you need to learn a few of them. Also, I don't know, it depends what country you come from and the customs you have, but also getting into a queue when you want something. Another thing that I showed them when we were on the underground in London, or the tube as it's called, you had to get on the right side of the escalator and move down the right side or come up on the left side. This was because you allowed the people in a hurry to be able to run down the left side. So there are little things like that that you need to learn when you travel. When I travel, I always Google the place I'm visiting and I ask, is there anything unusual that we need to know? So they are the first things that come to my mind because, as I said, I haven't lived there for a long time. Another thing is, it depends on your custom, but we don't ask very personal questions when we meet somebody. There are some subjects you never talk about, like money or religion or politics. So I can't think of anything else at the top of my head. Maybe you could remember some things as well.
If you visit the restaurant, what the rule of thumb that's going on in the UK?
If you visit a restaurant, what happens?
Probably giving tips. Maybe is this common in there?
Ah, right. Okay then. Not so much tips. It's included in your bill.
Okay.
So here in Spain, when we pay for our coffee, our loose change, which is left over, we normally leave on the plate.
Mm.
That is a tip for the waiter. but I don't remember leaving tips in England because it's included. 10% or 5% is included in the bill. So it's
Okay.
automatic.
In the bill. Okay. What about smoking in the public area? Is this allowed?
No, I think a few years back, smoking is not allowed inside. So what they do is they have a space outside where you're allowed to smoke. So you can imagine this is quite difficult in England because of the weather. The weather does not make it easy to do this thing. So if you go to a bar or a pub, as it's called, they have like a garden outside or a terrace outside, and they put heaters.
Mm.
So you can sit next to a heater and you have an umbrella if you want to smoke. So it's more difficult. Here in Spain, you're allowed to smoke outside and only in certain areas. I remember I visited a country, it could be Japan, I'm not sure, and they had special areas outside in the street where you were
Mm.
allowed to smoke, and only it was like a bus stop where we could understand each other. So in this area you were allowed to smoke in the street, and if you didn't find one of these areas you weren't allowed to smoke.
Okay. Okay, I don't know what else. So I jotted down about paying attention of P's and Q's when you visited the UK, and then queuing. I think it is the tradition or maybe just their custom. Queuing
Yeah,
is a must in the
yeah.
UK. So when you
A personal question: do you eat with your hands or do you eat with a knife and fork or with chopsticks? What do you eat with?
we not using knife. We only spoon and fork. And fork. Only spoon, like tablespoon and fork.
Yeah,
That's
right.
mainly, yeah.
So I'm not saying everyone needs to think about this, but for example, when I go to Morocco,
Mm.
I eat with my right hand.
Oh, okay.
And if I want, I can ask for a spoon or whatever. But normally people eat with their right hand. They wash
Mm.
their hands before they start, and they eat with their right hand. And when they finish, they wash their hands again. So in England, we have your knife and fork and your spoon, etc. But you don't eat with your hands.
Oh, but in here also, some people are using their hands directly, without spoon. But it depends on their habit and at home. Usually, if we go to the restaurant, having steak, usually they provide like knife as well. But usually,
Yeah.
we only, in general, in Indonesia, only tablespoon and fork only.
Hmm.
Not using like stick, chopstick. You know, chopstick only for noodle maybe. Just noodle,
Hmm.
maybe spaghetti. That's it.
Another thing you may have to take account of is the opening times. The opening times of the banks, of the shops. Maybe they are different to where you live.
Yeah.
So I noticed the difference between Spain and England, the opening times. For example, here in
Mm.
Spain, the banks are open only in the morning.
Oh.
And in England, I think they're open till 4 o'clock, for example.
Oh yeah.
Also, there are some services you can do inside the bank, and sometimes you have to do them in the machine in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are opening times for the shops. Here in Spain, we open shops at 10 a.m., and in England, they could open at 9 a.m.
Oh my God. Oh.
So it's not the end of the world, but if you know, you need to look at local holidays. If you are
Mm.
traveling to a
Yes,
country,
yes, yes.
maybe they are on holiday and you arrive and there is nothing open. So
Yeah, that's
small things you need to take into consideration when you are traveling.
Yes, that's true. And here also, basically, when the holidays relates to religious stuff, it automatically will to be closed. Everything like official stuff also.
Yeah, so here in Spain we have local holidays, national holidays, and
Mhm.
school holidays. We're always on holiday.
Yeah.
But for example, in England they have less holidays and they're mostly national holidays.
Oh, Miss Letty, thank you so much. I think we got to get out from this topic because it's gonna be too long. So thank you anyway, Miss Letty, for your explanation about the UK wise. So I think I can catch the thing that is really familiar with me is that about the queuing is really characterized in the UK. Or we have
Mhm.
to we don't have to sleep, when people like queuing.
So you need to read up about the do's and don'ts when you
Mm-hmm.
are visiting. And
Yeah.
there are many things online which you can help
Yes.
for people. So as you can see, Annie and I like chatting and we like having a conversation.
Yeah.
So this is what our English learners need to do. They have to be passionate about speaking and trying to express themselves. So, Annie, as you said, we need to go because otherwise we'll be talking all day.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. See you for the next one. Bye, Miss Letty. Bye bye.
Bye.